Pubcast. If you're not listening to Pubcast, the terrorists are winning. That's what Jay Moore says.
Welcome to the Pubcast. Sit down and enjoy a pint.
Okay, welcome to the Ghostbusters episode of the Pubcast. I've been putting off doing this movie for a while, but with the new sequel coming out in November, it seemed like a good time to revisit this 80s classic. Allison and Eric join me to break down this movie, written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, and Ghostbusters remains one of the highest-grossing movies of all time, adjusted for inflation, and the three of us thought it still holds up. While Bill Murray obviously steals the show, we came to an agreement that this may be Dan Aykroyd at the peak of his powers, peak of his comedic powers in movies at least. He's at his most Dan Aykroydness in Ghostbusters, which makes sense as his obsession with ghosts and the paranormal is well documented. Anyway, here we go with the breakdown of Ghostbusters.
Ghosts.
Hello, Ghostbusters.
They're real.
You do? You have?
They're here. Ghostbusters.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
They catch the ghost that won't stay dead. Ghostbusters! They're armed. They're dangerous.
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
They're professionals.
Oh, I'm the chairman of the largest paranormal removal company in America. You see it?
They're all that stands between you and the end of the world.
The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the sky.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Your girlfriend lives in the corner penthouse of Spook Central.
You want this body?
Is this a trick question? Got your stick? Hold! Beat him up! Smoke it! Make him hard! Ready!
Ghostbusters. Starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis. Coming to save the world. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.
All right, Ghostbusters, 1984. This, I think, is officially the shortest no-nonsense plot we've ever had.
Okay.
It's as close as, I can't imagine something being shorter than this. Three former parapsychology professors set up shop as a unique ghost removal service.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's as dry as you get.
Yep.
Doesn't say anything about
there is not an extra word in
saving
there.
the world or fighting ghosts at all. They're just a ghost removal service. That's it. The end.
I think they also attempted to use the least number of letters. So using the word shop versus
set up shop as a unique ghost removal service. Yeah. This is sort of the beginning of our sweet spot of good 80s movies. I mean, there's a bunch.
80. Yeah. We always talk about 1984 being the year.
Yeah. I'm not going to go through the list necessarily because we've covered a lot of these, but when I get to the top 10, you'll see. But this is one. I'm trying to think. Other than Star Wars, even including Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think this is the first big sort of summer movie, like cultural phenomenon that I can remember. Because it was everywhere and people had the Ghostbusters shirts. The song was on the radio. Everyone knew the quotes, at least in my school. seemed like it was everywhere. And I think that's the first movie I remember like that other than Star Wars. Am I wrong?
I think the only other one that had that kind of an impact, but it didn't have, there were no like action figures or breakfast cereal or anything like that, which is what Ghostbusters definitely had. But I think of like Jaws.
I knew you were going to say Jaws.
Yeah, where when you think about like summer movies, blockbusters, it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. They had T-shirts. They had, posters up. They were reading the book. Like while it wasn't like a pop music, like the music was like, it became everywhere, but
I'll give you Jaws.
It didn't have like because it wasn't geared towards family, it missed out on like a level of merchandising or whatever that Star Wars could tap into.
Where I think my bias comes in is this was big in our age group because of it was geared toward our age group. Jaws, not necessarily. I mean, it was, I guess, but it was probably a little more older and didn't have the lunchboxes and stuff, So I don't know. Eric, what do you remember about when Jaws, when Ghostbusters came out?
First time I saw it was at a friend's house. Let's see, 84. So I was summer of 84. I was 7.
Wow.
I just remember it being everywhere. Like, I'm sure it was well over 2 or 3 years later.
Sure.
Until I finally saw it. But, and we never got to go to the movies or anything. But I just absolutely remember, having no chance of seeing it or anything. It was definitely on my radar, Eric, even at that age. Yeah, Eric, everybody knew about it.
Yeah, Eric, didn't you have like a softball T-shirt with the Ghostbusters logo on the front?
I did, and that would have been. I will say I was in 3rd grade when I had that T-shirt.
Oh, so it was that much later.
Like with the red striped arms?
It was the blue 3/4 sleeves and the white body. Yeah. There was no
not striped, but the arms were blue.
Yes.
The blue collar.
Yeah, the arms were blue, and I think it said, one of the sleeves actually said Ghostbusters down the side.
Yeah.
And then on the front had the logo.
That's great.
But so that was like well over a year, probably closer to 2 years after the movie came out. I had that shirt and
you wore it a lot.
I wore it a lot, and because it was the shit.
Yeah.
Everyone wore it. Everyone had a shirt.
Yeah, it was great.
Fun fact, or not so fun, but it was just a fact.
Yeah.
This is one of 2 movies my dad took us to.
Oh.
Ever. Superman was the first one.
Yes.
And Ghostbusters.
Wow.
He's not a movie theater guy. He doesn't like going to the theater for some reason.
Interesting.
But those are the 2 movies.
Wow. Why did I think Empire Strikes Back was on that short list?
I definitely saw it in the theater, but not. It was my mom taking us on a 2 o'clock on a Wednesday or something.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, we detailed a lot of this in the Spies Like Us episode, written by Dan Aykroyd. Harold Ramis helped out, sort of rewriting it, I think. But this is one of Dan Aykroyd's getting into the weeds obsession with the paranormal and ghosts. Yeah. And I mean, I think he does aliens too, but ghosts for sure. He wrote this script, after living in a house that was allegedly haunted by the ghost of Cass Elliot. Oh no, after.
Wow.
I think he's too old for that. Inspired to write the script after living in a haunted house that was haunted by Cass Elliot. Great. Mama Cass. So the original title for the film was Ghost Smashers. Doesn't quite have the ring.
No.
I would say, and it's possible we talked about this during Spies Like Us, but of course I almost never remember what we talked about on a prior podcast. But watching it again this last time, I'm like, this is the Dan Aykroydiest movie of all of Dan Aykroyd's movies. It's got all of his little like gags, like physical, like acting gags and lines. It's the subject matter.
It's right up there.
I can't think of another one. If I kind of think through his list, I don't think there's another one that touches it.
Coneheads?
No, I don't even think so. No, because this is paranormal.
I know.
Paranormal.
Well, aliens.
But it's the it's him rounding the corner like he's about to tip over.
He does he does that Flintstone Three Stooges move 3 times in the movie.
I know. With his arms out, he's making crazy faces, and there's the sarcasm. It is the quintessential Dan Aykroyd movie.
I think you're definitely right. I'm just trying to figure out, is there anything else in contention? And probably not. Spies Like Us, maybe.
I mean, you could say like he's played certain characters that like he loves a good Chicago thing. So you can say like is Blues Brothers, like that. But
no.
When you think about Dan Aykroyd comedy and writing and the physicality of it, this is his movie.
Yeah. One thing when I was watching it, I noticed I don't often think of Ghostbusters, the original, as an 80s movie. It's got a lot of 80s-ness to it.
Oh, yeah.
In particular, Dana's apartment. When we see that for the first time and then the second time, it is so pastel and it is so 80s.
Yeah.
I always forget that, and it stood out this time.
Yeah. I would agree. I think the other thing that I noticed, and I started counting at one point, and then I'm like, whatever, and then whatever. But
wow,
the amount of product placement in this movie is insane.
Yeah.
It is every scene. Yeah. There is something there.
Yep. Some of this stuff is going to be trivia, so we're just going to have to deal with that, and we'll get to that part later. But this was the highest grossing comedy of all time until Home Alone in 1990. And adjusted for inflation, this would have been, or would be, the 32nd highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a monster.
That's big. When you kind of think about what's up top, you've got most of the Star Wars, you got like Avatar, Titanic, all like you stuff. Start like checking off a handful of movies, and then that fills up your top 20 pretty quick. And then this is right there.
Real quick. Like all the Star Wars, the one Avatar, but all the Marvels are within shouting distance. I don't know. So all the big tentpole franchise movies are in there.
Right.
It's kind of crazy. This little dopey comedy comes in and is in the 32nd place.
Ghost Smashers.
So speaking, this was, back to the cultural phenomenon thing and the song. The song, according to this stupid magazine, Ray Parker tried to, and I think did, create the song for the movie over 2 days. Instead of weeks or months, it was like a weekend, basically. At 4:30 a.m., he saw a commercial for a drain company that reminded him of a scene from the film. And one of the little lines in the commercial was, "Who are you going to call?"
Oh.
So that he spiraled off of that into the Ghostbusters thing.
That's good.
And I do have a thing, speaking of the song, Huey Lewis and the News turned down an offer to write and record the theme song.
Oh.
They were going to do the song. And later on, they sued Ray Parker Jr. For plagiarism, citing there were similarities between his song and their earlier hit, I Want a New Drug. It was not successful. The judge threw it out, but they thought it was close enough that they sued him.
I mean, I'm trying to think of that
Huey
song
Lewis.
and what would be close enough in that song that would...
It's not even close.
It sounds like Sour Grapes is what it sounds like, that they kind of regretted their decision to...
Yeah. We said no, and you did this, and all of a sudden it's a huge hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then they got Back to the Future, and I'm sure they were fine.
I'm sure it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the Rotten Tomatoes score first.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was the audience score for Rotten Tomatoes for Ghostbusters?
I'll say 85.
Ooh, really? I was going to say 94.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah, 94.
The audience score was 97%.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Everyone loved it. How about the critics? What do the critics think of this blockbuster movie?
I'm going to say 86. I'm going to say it got some accolades at the time for some of the special effects. And I think they'll think it was a good popcorn movie, but it is not a like a...
Eric?
Yeah, I'll say 83.
83. The critics gave it an 88.
Oh.
So high scores all around. Audience 9 points higher than the critics. All that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
There's no like big...
This one actually followed our normal logic that the audience score was higher than the critic score.
Finally. Okay, top 10 for 1984. Ghostbusters, 220 million.
That was number one?
Just under 221, yep. Then Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 179. Gremlins, third, 148.
And Gremlins, it's not the third one. It is the original Gremlins.
Yeah.
Is number
There's
3.
no Gremlins 3.
It feels like there should be.
The Karate Kid, 90 million. In fourth, Police Academy.
Wow.
I mean, that was a big movie then. I definitely remember that. Footloose, number 6 at 80 million. Beverly Hills Cop, the original, 77 million. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, 76 million at 8. Terms of Endearment, 74 million, number 9. And a special one for this podcast, Romancing the Stone.
Oh.
Number 10, 74 million. For those who don't know, Romancing the Stone is the movie I first thought of sort of obsessing about and coming up with names for recasting it with current movie stars.
Yeah.
And that's a movie we should do at some point.
We should definitely do that. Yeah. That is quite a year. I know that we have talked about this year.
It's good, but
it was a big...
It's a big year.
It's a big year.
There's tons... The thing with these lists of just the top 10 grossing movies, there's tons of great movies that weren't top grossers. They're like in the 30s or 20s or whatever.
Right.
And 84 is one of those years where there's big time movies in this year that didn't even get big time numbers. So, okay. Trivia. The white ghost in the Ghostbusters logo has a name. Its name is or was Moogly, apparently.
Moogly.
According to Dan Aykroyd, I believe. Yeah. Whatever.
It's not like Oogly. Boo.
Yeah, thinking maybe Boo or Casper or something dopey. John Belushi was an inspiration behind the character of Slimer, at least his physical and mannerisms. And we can get into this when we get into the who was almost cast and stuff, but it's well known that the Bill Murray part of Venkman was written for John Belushi, but he died during the writing of the film, or just after. Excuse me. Almost none of the scenes were filmed as scripted. Most had at least one ad-lib, and most of Bill Murray's lines are ad-libs.
Interesting.
That's every Bill Murray movie.
Yeah, it kind of... there's no surprise there whatsoever. All right, I'm going to spoil some of these casting things. There's a lot of little stupid trivia that's not all that interesting, and a lot of it has to do with casting. So I'm going to sprinkle in some casting stuff, but we'll get to the rest of the casting later.
I think a lot of what I saw, that it was a lot on like what lines were improvised.
Yeah.
So your point. So like you look like a game show host was improvised by Sigourney Weaver, and it was supposed to be, you look like a used car salesman or something, right? So I'm not going to go too deep into trivia, but I got a few things here. We'll just get into it. The character of Winston was meant to have joined the team much earlier, and the original script had him getting slimed at the hotel. And it was written for Eddie Murphy, but he declined the role. And then when he said no, they rewrote it to have that character come in much later because there was no star appeal with Eddie Murphy. Okay, so far the casting would have included...
I'll just do that right now. I'll do what the movie was originally written for, or who was written for. The original lineup was Venkman was John Belushi.
Right.
Ray Stantz was always Dan Aykroyd because he wrote it. Egon Spengler, I didn't have an original name for that. I don't think they had an original person that they wrote the role for. Unless you...
Yeah, I just remember reading something that Harold Ramis decided I'm going to play it because I think I'm the best person for it.
I think that happened like in the rewrites as, Harold Ramis was brought in, and during that time he sort of came to that conclusion, but Aykroyd didn't write the part with somebody in mind, I don't believe.
Right.
Yeah. Winston Zeddemore was supposed to be Eddie Murphy. Dana Barrett, I didn't see anybody written for that, or anybody who was in mind when they wrote it. Louis Tully was supposed to be John Candy.
Right.
Opposite physical type, which is fantastic.
Right.
Janine Melnitz, I didn't see a name there. And I think the best one that didn't happen, that really should have happened, is Gozer was supposed to be Paul Rubens.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so I did see that too. That was fantastic.
That's the top.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
good.
Make that happen.
Right.
Somehow that has to happen.
And I wish it would be in the Pee-wee suit.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And Pee-wee voice. I want the Pee-wee voice, too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think if I remember reading it right, they said that he was supposed to take the form of the guy that was essentially the architect of the building, and that started that whole cult. It was in that person's body.
Right. Yep. So while we're here, I might as well just do the casting issues on who was considered or turned it down or almost cast, and we'll just get that out of the way. So for Venkman, written for John Belushi, turned down by Michael Keaton, Chevy Chase, and Steve Guttenberg.
It's so funny you bring up Steve Guttenberg. I was just thinking about him the other day. Like, I never really enjoyed him as an actor.
We just saw Cocoon.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's why I was thinking about him. I'm like,
it was on TV.
Like, he's not my guy. Like, I didn't get him ever.
Police Academy, and then 3 Men and a Baby.
Right,
and it was over.
That's it.
Yeah. So those
Short
people,
circuit.
Short circuit. Son of a bitch. So those people turned it down, People who may have been considered included Richard Pryor, which I thought was interesting.
Ooh.
Tom Hanks and Robin Williams.
Wow.
I don't know.
There's a lot of big names rolling around.
It's all over the place.
In this.
Yeah. So anyway, Ray Stantz was always Aykroyd, so move on.
Right.
Spangler, there was nobody written, or it wasn't written for anybody in particular, but people considered were Christopher Walken.
That would have been kind of funny.
84 Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah.
John Lithgow, Christopher Lloyd. That would have been good, I think. And Jeff Goldblum. What?
Yeah. I'm thinking of Jeff Goldblum now, who is completely goofy versus like 84 Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I like Jeff Goldblum now better.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of reacted that way.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious versus like the Fly version of Jeff Goldblum.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Winston Zeddemore was supposed to be Eddie Murphy. The only one I saw that was considered was Gregory Hines.
Oh.
So, I don't know. Dana Barrett.
Tap dance across every...
Oh, my God. I love these tap dancing. Ridiculous.
Right. He's just making tap sounds, and it makes the ghost, like, roll over.
He's tapping, and he says, like, that'd be a big Twinkie.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So, Dana Barrett... No name associated, but the only one I saw who at least auditioned for it was Julia Roberts.
Oh, really? Huh.
I don't know.
Sounds like a very young Julia Roberts. 84?
Yeah, Mystic Pizza, Julia Roberts, basically.
Wow.
Louis Tully, the only one I saw was John Candy, and then it went to Harold Ramis.
To who?
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. Moranis, Ramis, tomato.
Slightly different heights.
Janine Melnitz, I didn't see anybody, but considered was Sandra Bernhardt.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That character is just New York.
Yeah.
You need a New York woman in that character. And then Gozer is Paul Rubens. Yeah. So there you go.
God, that would have been so good.
I know. Okay. Winston. The Terror Dogs, the Hellhounds or whatever, that came to life were actual statue designs on an old church in Philadelphia. Gozer's final form was described as David Bowie meets Grace Jones.
I think they
mission accomplished.
That definitely shows in the movie.
Yeah,
I think they captured that.
Yeah, we talked about the grossing.
I like Grace Jones getting multiple mentions throughout the podcast.
Yeah, she's like a sneaky little attachment to every little episode we do. Dan Aykroyd, so his original version of the movie was, I don't think it was a comedy, and it was much darker. There's that sort of description of the script comes up throughout if you do some research on it. It was a different movie.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't spend a ton of time looking at it, but I did
now I want to find it.
Right, but I did see something along the lines of it was written for an adult audience, and they decided to make it more family friendly. Yeah. And so like they changed everything from the logo to just some of the jokes and everything. And the ghosts themselves were different.
Yeah. In the original version of the script, it began with the Ectomobile flying out of Ghostbusters HQ into an adventure or a job, basically. Ivan Reitman suggested it would be better to show how the team got together and get everything, the backstory, essentially.
I think that worked.
Yeah. In the original rough draft of the movie, the story was going to take place in the future, and teams of Ghostbusters would exist everywhere, like paramedics or firefighters. Thus, them being in the firehouse. Motif.
Interesting.
According to Reitman, such a film would cost at least $300 million and $84.
Oh my God.
And so that's when they brought in Harold Ramis to rewrite it and bring it down a notch.
Yeah.
Like, this is not some expansive, futuristic, all sorts of teams of Ghostbusters all over the place fighting. No, this is a smaller story.
Did you happen to catch how much it cost to make the movie?
Yeah, so Ghostbusters made just under $221 million, and the budget was $30 million.
Okay.
So $30 million, that includes all sorts of product placement, apparently. So
yeah,
they offset some of that. Michael Ensign, Ensign, Ensign. I don't know his name off the top of my head, or that actor by name. He originally read for the part of Walter Peck, but when he didn't get it, he took the consolation prize of playing the manager at the Sedgwick Hotel in the beginning. So he's the nerdy manager.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then in this movie, you have both actors, William Atherton as Walter Peck and Reginald Vell Johnson, who's one of the cops at the jail at the end when they're in jail. He's one of the cops there. Those two played against each other again, or with each other, in Die Hard.
Oh.
As the cop in The Asshole.
I did see something, since we're talking about William Atherton, that I thought was hilarious.
He's great, by the way.
So after the movie, people hated him.
Yeah.
And so he would be walking down the street, in New York. People would try to pick fights with him at bars and all this stuff. He's school buses would go by and kids would yell out, "Hey, dickless," and all of this stuff. He's it was absolutely terrible. He played the part so well that people just were like, all right, he's Walter Peck.
So in the pantheon of 80s assholes, he's up there. Ed Rooney. The actor who plays Ed Rooney. Yeah. He's in there.
Yep.
And so is what's his name? William Zabka, the bad guy in Karate Kid, the blonde kid.
Johnny Lawrence.
Joey Lawrence. John Lawrence.
Oh my God.
Those are your 80s assholes, right?
Right.
Yeah. Atherton's awesome.
I would put of those three, I would put him at the top.
I think
Absolutely.
Because he doubles down in Die Hard.
Yep.
He's just as...
And real genius.
Real genius. I knew there was another one. Yes.
Oh, that movie.
All right. We talked about the potential casting and other casting issues. So now let's get into our own casting issues with a recasting debate. It is recast or bait.
Whee.
Better close the door. It's time to recast or bait.
I had some trouble with this. So here's who we are discussing. It's an extensive list compared to most movies,
right.
But it is Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, Egon Spengler, Dana Barrett, Louis Tully, Janine Melnitz, Walter Peck, Winston Zeddemore, and Gozer.
Okay.
That is 9.
Yep.
9 times.
We got it.
Now, I don't stand by most of my choices.
Wow. Okay.
If I hear a better one, I'm going to flip to someone else's and double down on theirs. Endorse somebody else.
I feel like there's a few of mine. I would be shocked if you guys don't have the same ones.
Yeah. So I'm considering working backwards, doing the smaller characters to the bigger characters.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's change it up. Let's do something weird. So to that end, let's go with Gozer.
Okay.
I had 3 that were easy.
I had one and one name only, and I thought of it immediately.
I have one. I really have one. I thought of it during the movie.
Yeah.
But I
got two, and I gotta imagine that one of them, all three of us has.
Yeah. That's the name. We'll get there in a second. My number 3 is Elizabeth Debicki.
Oh, yeah.
From Guardians of the Galaxy, Tenet.
Yep.
Easy.
Yeah, Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yeah.
I think my number 1, just to appease the studio heads, is Angelina Jolie.
You have no budget.
I have no budget. No. This is cameo.
Unlimited, no limits.
This is cameo of Angelina Jolie, and I'm going to dub her voice as well. So.
All right.
But my number 1 is Tilda Swinton.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course, Eric.
Of course.
Of course, that's the answer.
Oh,
it's the only answer.
The answer.
It's the only answer. There's no other answer.
Oh my gosh.
Eric has Tilda as well. Did you have a backup or no?
My backup is Lady Gaga.
Oh. Hilarious. I had Ruby Rose.
That's perfectly fine too.
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable.
It's actually perfectly acceptable.
I think the answer is, besides Tilda, none of us said Grace Jones. We could have done that one.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Okay. Al, why don't you go with your Winston Zeddemore?
Okay. So I'm going to mispronounce his name, I think, but it's
John Smith?
No. Lamorne Morris, who is Winston from New Girl, which I love that it was the name Winston, but
okay.
Yeah.
So he'd be playing a second character named Winston.
Yeah.
I've got Aziz Ansari as a totally different Winston.
Okay.
And then my number 1 is Hannibal Buress.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. Eric, give us a Winston.
I got a couple that I don't know. I'm not too excited about. I have Lakeith Stansfield.
Oh yeah,
I do like him.
And I have Terry Crews.
Oh, I had him, but I took him off my list. Yep.
I think I like the Terry Crews one best so far. I have 2, but Winston, he's got a couple sneaky, funny lines, but he's like barely in the movie. It could almost be anybody. My number 2 is Jordan Peele.
Oh, that's actually fun.
My number 1 that I like was Kenan Thompson.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to have a funny guy in this part. It could definitely be anybody.
Right.
Really. Right. So.
Kenan Thompson.
All right. This is the one I had the most trouble with for some reason, and it's Walter Peck.
Yes.
So, Eric, give us a Walter Peck.
I've got 3 names. One of them, I don't know. I feel like we use him a lot, but at the same time, I think he works for this particular part. Michael Shannon.
Oh,
shit.
That's good.
Another name I have is Joel McHale.
That's who I had, Eric. That he was my number 1. He was my number 1.
I like that. I think I like that one.
And then the third name that I have is Timothy Simons.
Yeah.
AKA Jonah Ryan.
Oh. Yeah, that's actually really good. That's really good. Those are 2 really good ones.
I think those guys they're neck and neck.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's good.
All right. I could not think of anything. So my answer is I'm recasting William Atherton for this role. Age 73, you're playing it again. Sorry.
Right.
The backup one, I thought just as we were getting ready for this podcast, I thought of it. He's my default guy for really most roles. It's Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah.
But I like all of Eric's and yours better than mine already.
The only other one that I had, so Joel, I only had 2 for this, but Joel McHale was like with a bullet to the top of my list. But the other person I've got is Anna Camp.
Who is that?
She was in Pitch Perfect. She was in...
Yeah. Okay.
She was in, True Blood and...
I'll have to look her up. I don't know.
Blonde hair. She plays kind of the serious... She's the chick that puked all over the place at the beginning of Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Sort of a Karen running the EPA.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of that, I imposed a rule on myself for this recasting situation because essentially the gender swap version exists. I didn't gender swap anybody, I don't think, in this. Because it kind of already happened. So I've limited myself to staying within type.
All right.
That said, there is some creativity here and there. Janine Melnitz.
All right.
I'll throw mine down.
Okay.
My real answer is I want Time Machine Rosie Perez.
Oh.
I want to bring her back from 1984, 5, 6. That's the one I want to play Janine, or maybe even 1994 Rosie Perez. But since we can't...
Fly Girl, Do the Right Thing, Rosie Perez?
Yeah, like...
White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, perfect. I want New York attitude with a Puerto Rican twist.
Yeah.
But instead of that, or in spite of that, I went with Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, she was on my list. Yeah.
That's good.
And that's all I got.
Yep. So I had Aubrey Plaza. I have Michelle Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
And then the number one that I want is Tiffany Haddish answering that phone.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
I want her answering that phone for sure.
That's what I mean. I don't know where she's from, but New York attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's actually from like New Orleans or something like that.
Yeah, but could pull it off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Eric?
I got 2 names. One I really like, one not so much. The one I'm not too sure about, Beanie Feldstein.
Oh, yeah.
And then the number one that I thought that I liked was Awkwafina.
That's good. That's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
We cast a wide swath in our Janine.
Yeah.
Casting. That's good.
I like that we cast it not on voice, but on attitude.
Yeah.
Like that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because I think people get caught up in the voice.
No, that role is all attitude, I think.
I also like to think of Tiffany Haddish in that scene with the with Egon where she's trying to make small talk.
Yeah.
When he's trying to plug in the computer or whatever.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Louis Tully.
Oh. This was my hardest one.
I want Al, you to start.
Okay.
I think there is only one answer to this, but
I have one answer.
I had 3 and they're all slightly different variations. I think my number one is probably the one that we all have.
So hold off on that one.
I feel like we should just all say it at the same time because we're all going to have it.
1, 2, 3. Charlie Day.
Charlie Day.
Oh, I don't have him on here.
It's Charlie Day, and
it is.
There is nobody else in line for this part.
It is. That is the correct answer.
All right. Al, what do you have instead?
3 different versions of roughly the same person. I want Pete Davidson to do that character where he's like standing off to the side and he like hardly says anything and it's just awkwardness on SNL.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson.
Oh, okay.
And then my number 1 was Jim Parsons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Charlie Day. So how did I miss that one?
Eric had Charlie Day. I had Charlie Day. I put down a second place just to have somebody, but this is not. There's no competition. My second guy would be Seth Green. I was just going for small, squirrely little actor. So I don't know. All right. Dana Barrett, who sleeps 4 feet above her sheets. Eric, give us a Dana.
I got 2 names. Tessa Thompson.
Oh,
and Gal Gadot.
That's who I got too.
I considered Gal Gadot. I took her off my list.
Yep.
I actually wrote her down and I scratched her out. That's good. Tessa Thompson is a podcast favorite. She came up a lot.
I like her a lot.
Yeah. I'd put her almost in anything.
Yeah. So replacing Gal Gadot, I had Anne Hathaway. I don't love it, but I didn't. I wanted to take Gal Gadot off. My number 2 is Jessica Biel. And my number 1 comes up a lot for me. It's Rachel McAdams.
Oh, do like to capture.
That's my Dana Barrett, apparently.
Yeah, I had Gal Gadot. I also had Blake Lively. And the one that I kind of like the most, though, is Janelle Monáe.
Who's that? What is she in?
She's a singer. She was in Hidden Figures.
Yeah. Okay.
So I like her as the musician character.
Yep. All right. Now we're getting to the interesting part. The 3 Musketeers, as it were. Egon Spengler. I'll go first. I only have 2. I really only have 1. I put a second one there. My number 2 is Richard Ayoade. He's a British comedic actor, comedian. You've seen him out on those, like the Travel Man or Gadget Man videos I watched on YouTube. You've seen him. If you saw a picture, you'd know him.
Okay.
He's played nerdy before, and he's funny and it works.
All
right. My number 1, I surprised myself with this one. I don't know that it's so great, but it's not my usual go-to.
Okay.
Number 1, Egon, Adam Driver.
Oh.
I like that one.
I was not expecting that.
No.
I was not expecting that at all.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Neither was my casting director.
So, I like that.
That's all I got. Who's got next?
So I've got Danny Pudi, who is from Community.
Yeah.
Nelson Franklin from Veep, who plays the intern guy with the senator who just gets berated all the
time. Shit. Yeah. Holy cow. That's a great one.
And then number 1 for me is Max Greenfield.
Who is that?
Girl.
Good.
Schmidt.
Oh, yeah.
Schmidt.
Good.
Which it turns out, by the way, Nelson Franklin is
2 new girls.
He's also a new girl, but I thought of him from Veep as like tall, kind of lanky, awkward guy.
Yeah. You also had the black guy from
I know.
New Girl, right?
I know, yeah.
Winston.
There we go. All right, Eric, give us an Egon.
I have two names. Kumail Nanjiani and Simon Pegg.
Oh, yeah. I had him on my list, but somewhere else. But he got bumped.
Yeah. Simon Pegg is good.
That's good, though.
I
didn't have him for Egon, but I kind of like that.
This is one of those movies where I usually try to stick in the age range. This is a movie, any character can be any age. I don't think it matters really at all. I mean, if they're in their 70s, maybe it doesn't make sense. But my Walter Peck, I'm recasting William Atherton, so who cares? Ray Stantz, the Dan Aykroyd character.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have two.
Okay.
My first one, I had it like that.
Yeah.
Easy. Nothing. Don't even think about it. Done. Then finding somebody else that I liked, I thought was hard. So, but I did find one. My number two that I like, the more I think about it, he could surpass number one, but I don't think he will. Number two would be Michael Cera.
Oh.
I don't know if it...
Yeah.
He doesn't do what Dan Aykroyd does, but I think he can do that part.
Yeah.
And then my number one, because he can do what Dan Aykroyd does, I think, is Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. So I've got Will Forte.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's good.
I could have considered him for a number of places. I forgot about him.
I'm going to butcher her name, Mayim Bialik.
Yeah.
And then my number one is Adam Devine.
Devine. Yeah. Who
I feel has the physicality of Dan Aykroyd for sure, and I think could pull off the. All of it.
I never think about that guy either. All right, Eric, give us a Ray.
I'm not a big fan of any of my Ray choices. I guess I was trying to think of actors that not necessarily even the physicality so much as like the line delivery, like the long, like sort of like technical speech.
Yeah.
Or that, I guess that's kind of what I was going for. But even then, I don't even know how well these really fit into that. In no particular order. Brendan Fraser. I don't know where that came from.
I was not expecting that.
Whoa.
I was not expecting that. Was not expecting that.
Whoa.
Jason Schwartzman.
Oh, that's good.
I almost had him in 3 different places.
That's really good.
And then Sam Richardson, also known as Richard Splett from Veep.
He is. Oh, that
he's in this movie somewhere.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He could be Egon. He could be Ray.
Oh, Eric. Ooh. That was a good pull.
I like him as Egon almost. Even better. That's a good one. Damn.
Oh, that's good. We're sourcing Veep this time.
We are.
Yeah, I'm all about Veep this time.
Veep is our farm team. Okay. Peter Venkman.
Veep and New Girl.
New Girl, that's right. So this was supposed to be John Belushi. They thankfully skipped over Jim Belushi, and it went to Bill Murray. I think we all have one person that will be amongst our 3.
Interesting.
I'm pretty confident about that.
Oh.
That person's my number 1.
Okay.
So my number 3, I have him in here. I don't like it though.
Interesting.
My number 3 is Adam Sandler.
Oh.
He's on my list.
Is he really?
I am hesitant because it then becomes an Adam Sandler movie, and then it's a different I'm afraid of his influence on the whole operation.
Yeah.
if he's just playing the part, fine.
Right.
I think he's fine.
Well, is Rob Schneider then like Lewis?
Everything. David Spade is Egon. The whole thing spirals. So I don't know about that.
Oh my God.
Number 2, I don't like this guy, but he's I like this guy. I don't like him in this part, but he is a sort of a blurry copy of my number 1. So I put him in there. Number 2, Chris Pratt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
My number 1, I would be shocked if they're not, you guys don't have them somewhere or consider them in the 4 spot. Ryan Reynolds. I think he hits the bill.
He's also on my list.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not have him.
With the sarcasm and the attitude and the smarminess.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I don't think he does a Bill Murray deal, but he does that. He can execute those lines.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't hit any of mine.
Not yours, but I nailed Eric's, at least one of them. So
2 of mine.
2 of them.
Oh, really?
Right, Sandler and
I had Sandler and I had Ryan Reynolds.
And who else did you have?
Yeah,
I got 2 other names. All I got 4 people. All of them are kind of like Bill Murray. It's Ghostbusters. It's kind of Bill Murray being that Bill Murray type.
Yeah.
So all 4 of mine are actors that kind of always are just like Adam Sandler's always Adam Sandler. Ryan Reynolds pretty much always Ryan Reynolds.
Like versions of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So my other 2 then that also fit into that are Vince Vaughn.
Oh.
And then
that's good.
I think that would work.
And then my number 1 choice, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh. He's breaking free from Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, aka Peter Venkman.
Oh my God, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah.
Also, have not hit any of mine yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
We threw out 7 names so far.
Yeah.
I can't believe we didn't hit one of yours yet.
I've got Taron Killam.
Yeah, I did think of him for sure.
Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
It's good. I almost put him in the Ray Stantz camp, but I like it.
Yeah. And my number 1, because I sourced New Girl, it's Jake Johnson.
Wow. This is the cast replace.
But what's interesting though is like how I got there for them were completely different. Like I had Jake Johnson before I really did my homework. It was just, I'm like, oh, he's Peter Venkman for sure.
This is the cast replacement though.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, you got to put what's her name in for Dana Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah. New girl, Zoe Deschanel, and for because that would work in that world.
Well, and then you can put in what's his name too, whatever Wayans.
Yeah,
Coach.
Yeah, Coach.
Oh my God, yeah. And honestly,
a cast swap.
For Gozer, I still want to cast Paul Rubens. So let's just go back to that.
Yeah,
just keep him there. Okay, memorable quotes. No, memorable scenes and quotable lines.
Yes.
There are many. It's your typical 80s comedy chock full of quotes.
Yes.
Maybe the first one that I remember, right? Back off, man, I'm a scientist.
Back off, man, I'm a scientist.
Yep.
Even when that came on, when he said it, when we were watching them,
like,
oh, that was on every T-shirt and everybody was saying that. He slimed me.
I feel so funky.
Feel so funky.
Batman, what happened? Are you okay? He slimed me.
That's a big Twinkie.
According to this morning's sample, it would be a Twinkie 35 feet long, weighing approximately 600 pounds.
That's a big Twinkie.
Yep.
That's a good one. I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Yep.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Are you the keymaster?
Are you the keymaster?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice shooting, Tex. It's so good.
I said that this week.
Yeah.
Literally, every pickup basketball game I've ever played, I say that to somebody. Somebody will hit 3 in a row, and I say that for sure. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
So great.
Aim for the flat top.
Yeah. That's the Grace Jones, man. Don't cross the streams.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
That's a good one. That still is used today.
Okay, who brought the dog?
Anything else?
Our big discussion point the other night about who had the right understanding of the line.
But is that a quote?
It is, and it's
okay. So when Egon is under what's her face's desk, Janine's desk, he's connecting whatever horseshit technology they have, and he comes out and he goes around the side and they're chit chatting and he's plugging in this or fixing that, and she says, "Oh, I'm an avid reader or whatever. I read all the time. What do you read or whatever?" And he goes, "Print is dead." Yeah. And then he continues on to whatever the fuck he's
plugging
saying
in the
doing.
computer.
Yeah.
I bet you like to read a lot, too.
Print is dead.
Allison thought he said the printer is dead.
Yeah.
As in,
because he was under the desk and fixing a computer, doing something.
He definitely says print is dead.
He does, and I actually looked it up.
Yeah.
What's interesting is it was 1984 where he says print is dead.
I know. How is print dead in a time when there is only print?
Right.
I don't know what he's talking about.
It's a fascinating
movies, TV,
it's a fascinating quote. Right. I've been thinking about it since. Yes. 100%. I'm like, did he look into a crystal ball? Like, how did they know to write that in 84?
Yeah. So Eric,
it's pre-internet. It's pre-cell phone. It's pre-home computers. Like, what?
I know. That's what was baffling me. So when this came up, I was making this argument. Like, why would he say print is dead in 1984? There was only print. I mean, there's obviously TV and movies, but there was 4 channels and there was a movie once a week or whatever. How is he saying print is dead? You can say that today when there's everything else is electronic. And does that count as print? I don't know, whatever. But how do you say that then? What does that mean? And we had no answer and we moved on. But print is dead.
Yeah. I think the other in terms of, I guess it's sort of a quote, but when they're in that ballroom and he pulls out the tablecloth, the flowers are still standing.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah. It's filled with like sneaky little, almost off camera asides that you don't think of, but when you're watching the movie, you know they're coming.
Yeah.
Like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, of course, just
aim for the flat top.
Them finding the firehouse and the ectomobile, Ray's enthusiasm for just jalopies and flap houses is like
flap houses.
Like,
so I didn't. You don't see it in the movie, but in the research, I saw some of this. When Winston comes on board, he takes the role of the team's mechanic. Like, he's working on the car. His role is, I fix all the stuff or get the stuff running so that Egon can then focus on the innovation of the ghost busting equipment or whatever. Not that it matters, but I was always like, why did they bring on Winston? Just another guy? But what is what is his
another set of hands?
What's his lane? What does he do?
So interesting.
Whatever.
I did like that both Casey Kasem and his wife have cameos in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
His wife, that chick is ridiculous. I don't know what is going on there.
She's like a cartoon.
Home.
Yeah, she's a cartoon. Right. Yeah. And now they're all fighting over his wealth. Okay. We have 5 people for the How Much Are They Worth game.
And now, let's play the How Much Are They Worth game.
Oh, I did not even think about this.
No.
Oh, no.
We've tackled one of these in Spies Like Us.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Right.
I haven't a clue.
That slate is wiped clean, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. We're in a vacuum here. It means nothing.
We had the 4 people you'd expect plus the director. So I've got Ivan Reitman, Harold Ramis, Sigourney Weaver, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. We are going to start with Ivan Reitman.
Wait. Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Sigourney.
Weaver. Yeah. Okay, Ivan the Terrible.
He's done a couple of things.
But at the same time, I feel like it's been a long time.
I don't know for sure, but he's done nothing recently that I can remember. Which is a shame. I don't know what happened to him or why that's the case, but Ivan Reitman, he did all the movies in the 80s, basically.
It was like him and John Landis and Steven Spielberg.
He did a bunch, a handful
of
everything. Yeah. His son now does all kinds of good movies.
Right.
He's doing... Jason Reitman
is doing the sequel.
Directed Ghostbusters Afterlife, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it looks like he's doing more producing than directing.
Yeah. Well, he is like almost 80, right? So I get it. Where has he been for the past? I don't know. Where was he in the early 2000s? It's all producing, I guess, right? Euro Trip, Hotel for Dogs, I Love You, Man.
Oh, he directed Draft Day. Kind of like that movie.
Yeah. Private Parts, Space Jam, producer. Hey, he's all producers. Well, what does that mean? Oh, even stuff like Dave, Beethoven, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Producer.
Twins.
Yeah, Stripes.
Directed Kindergarten Cop. Oh, God, he directed Junior.
Oh, my God. Okay, so this is an 80s guy. And then everything else after that is essentially producing. Does producing get you more money than a director? I don't think so. I don't know about that.
All right. I've written something down.
His list is extensive. I'm going to say...
He doesn't own a studio, does he?
I didn't see that. I don't even know what to put for this guy. All right, I have a number, and it's kind of low.
Okay.
Eric, do you have a number?
I do.
What do you got?
Based off he's got quite a few producer credits, and there's some pretty big movies there. I'll say $75 million.
Oh. Uh-oh.
What'd you have?
I wrote down $195 million.
Oh, my God. I think you two are closer than me. I undersold this guy by a lot. It might be criminal. I put 50
Ivan Reitman?
I know. But I'm trying to do the reverse inflation, the deflation of $84 versus today. I don't know what that means exactly, but
I'd originally written 175, and then I'm like, I feel like that's low.
All right.
For
Ivan Reitman is a Czechoslovakian film producer and director. What?
Wow.
Czechoslovakian film producer and director who has a net worth of $100 million. Eric gets it. Wow. Yeah, that was something. I didn't really see that coming. Great. Okay, Harold Ramis. When we lived in Skokie, I saw him at the gym one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on a bike. Eric? Oh,
Harold Ramis.
Sorry. I just want to make sure you were there because it.
Yep, I'm here.
It was
199 titles. Lots of writing credits.
Harold Ramis. I mean, he was behind Groundhog Day. That's sort of all we needed to know right there.
He wrote the screenplay for Bedazzled, so he got Brendan Fraser taken care of there.
That movie is horrific.
Groundhog Day screenplay.
Ivan Reitman is $100 million. Yikes.
He wrote Caddyshack, Animal House. He was on Animal House. Okay. It's interesting when you're like on IMDb and you wish you could have a filter to sort the movies.
Yeah.
Like there's that many credits.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it by producer or director or actor, but yeah. I've got a number.
I have a number.
I think I'm changing it though. Yeah. I'm going to move it up just a bit.
All right, I've got a number.
Okay, Al, what's your number?
120.
Damn it. I'm low again. Because Ivan Reitman was 100, I put Harold Ramis at 91. Eric, what do you got?
85.
85. Okay, Harold Ramis was an American actor, director, writer, and producer with a net worth of, now I don't know if this is at the time of death or if that adjusts after death because of what, I have no idea how that works with the states, but they've got him at 50 million. So Eric gets it again. Basically by default, because we all were way over. All right. We can't have Eric sweep this. Let's everyone just concentrate and figure this out.
Dan Aykroyd, right?
Sigourney Weaver.
All right.
Sigourney. I can't spell Sigourney, but it's okay. Yeah, she's all over the place too. She's got that Avatar money.
Avatar money.
Yeah.
Alien, Galaxy Quest.
She's got only 4 producer credits, so it's basically just her acting salary.
Yeah. She is, believe it or not, she's in Avatar 3, 4, and 5, according to IMDb.
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5?
Sorry, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I don't think that is reflected in her numbers yet, but it's something. And spoilers, she's in Ghostbusters Afterlife, apparently. No big surprise there. But.
Okay.
She was in the Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance.
She was in Copycat.
Well,
Squirrel Covers.
Galaxy Quest.
Dave.
Galaxy Quest is so underrated.
Agreed.
It's so...
Yeah.
394 titles.
She was in Chappie.
I saw that. I just like the name of it.
All right. I don't know.
She was in Annie Hall as Alvy's date outside the theater. Wow.
I don't even know how to categorize what she's doing here.
All right, I've got a number.
Actress. All right, I got something. Eric, what do you got? Or do you have a number? I can go first.
Yes, I have a number.
All right.
65 million.
All right. I put her at 37. Al?
I've got 75.
I think I went low, but I was trying to factor it in.
The fact that she's a woman and she got ripped off.
Yes. And also, a lot of her good stuff was earlier, so even more so. Okay. Oh, Sigourney Weaver is an American actress who has a net worth of $60 million.
Damn it, Eric.
This is starting to get unfair. It's like an ass kicking.
Ooh, I haven't prepared.
Ooh, who are these people?
I have no idea.
What's $1 worth? I don't even know.
No.
Dan Aykroyd, who we definitely have done before, and we definitely don't remember, so that's fine. He has that.
He's got House of Blues.
Skull vodka.
He's got the Skull vodka.
Every Ghostbusters iteration there's ever been.
All the stuff.
I'm not even going to look him up because who cares?
All right, I've written down a big number, which I've been doing all day and have been wrong.
No, you have been over.
Every time.
I've been under mostly.
I am usually under, and so I've been trying to correct.
I think I've only just been over
like
by
really
the
close.
least amount. Yeah.
Ooh, I've nailed it every time.
I've been only close.
I've only been the closest every single time I've tried. That's all. I nailed it. What did you get to?
Man, it sucks. I've only won every round.
All right. I've got a number. Al, you have a number.
Yes.
Eric's got a number. I'm going with 125 million.
Oh. Okay.
Al, you have to say it now.
250.
Shit. See, that makes me feel even worse. Eric?
Just say $1 billion so that we can win one.
I'm putting you down for 1.7 billion. Is that right?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said 150.
Oh, Shiza.
Ooh. I mean,
Oh, no.
Dan Aykroyd is a Canadian comedian, actor, screenwriter, and entrepreneur who has a net worth of $200 million. You and Eric tie, but the tie goes to the under.
Oh, Eric.
Damn it. This can't be a sweep. Come on. We got to figure this out.
Oh my God. We have to like team up.
Well, this is not the easiest one. Bill Murray. Talk about one of the quirkiest, nuttiest dudes out there.
Yeah.
Did he do Ghostbusters for $1? Who knows? Did he? I mean, what about Bob? Was he paid in a bag of hair? I have no idea.
Goldfish.
The goldfish. I mean, it could be anything.
He doesn't have any kind of entourage. He's got no publicist, no agent, no nothing. So everything goes into his pocket.
People can't even find, like, they can't get a hold of him.
He has I believe the story goes, he has an 800 number where you leave a message.
Yeah.
And he'll either call you back or he won't.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he's got all the Wes Anderson movies. Ghostbusters.
I mean, Grand Budapest Hotel.
I know. Oh my God.
But he was.
So he's got
Charlie's Angels.
He's got 370 titles. 90 are actor credits.
Oh, well, the timing is perfect. He was in the original Space Jam. Whatever that's worth. Oh my God. I don't know about this guy.
Producer credits 7. On nothing.
Okay. See, the number on this guy could be 800 million or it could be 52,000. I don't know what to make of this.
All right. I've written down a number and I might as well just
It's a
lay
complete
down.
stab in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Aykroyd's at 200, but that includes his other sort of bullshit. Fucking Murray. Let me take one quick look here. Producer. Nothing. Great. I'm putting him down for.
Make Eric say his first.
Yep. All right, Eric, what's your number?
110 million.
I said 174.
Ooh, I said 125.
Damn.
And I had originally written 150, but I notched it down a bit.
I expected to be high, but we'll see. Ooh. Bill Murray is an American comedian, actor, writer, and producer who has a net worth of $180 million.
Oh!
Hey! Thank the Lord.
Oh, sad.
No more sweeps.
Wow. I have 0.
Well, just like any number of bad teams in the NBA, I got swept 4-1. So there you go. It's not exactly a sweep, but it's a genuine sweep.
A gentleman's sweep?
That's what a bunch of sports casting douchebags would call a 4-1 series as opposed to 4-0. Okay, Ghostbusters, 1984, holds up. Oh, we didn't talk about, since it doesn't matter, what would you want to see in a sequel?
No.
There are enough. There's plenty. What you want to see is them going on another adventure of busting ghosts. So who cares what it is?
The only two things that I thought of, or I had written down, one is the use of the card catalog at the beginning would not be able to be used as a
Yeah.
It doesn't hold
signal of anything. And then I'm like, would our kids even know what a card catalog is these days?
No.
But
just going into a library, to be perfectly honest.
That's rare enough.
The other thing that I had written down, and I noticed it when we were watching the movie, I'm like, oh my God, he's so young. And that was Larry King.
Yeah, his first movie appearance.
Right.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, he's so young in that
Poughkeepsie, hello. So Ghostbusters holds up extremely well.
Yeah.
The original. It's very 80s in parts, but in those small doses. Everything else is it's sort of timeless for the most part because they're just running around being dopes. I mean, if you throw cell phones into the mix, it doesn't really change anything. It just makes it different.
Love to bring that up.
Yeah.
The one thing I noticed was, and it would get changed now because I think people would hate the character too much, is how lechy Bill Murray is in the movie.
Oh, of course.
There's a touch of misogyny. There is a touch
through the 2021 lens.
That, and I never really paid attention to it, but I noticed it last night, even when they're in the apartment, in her apartment, and she's like, would you please leave?
Yeah.
And just, it is a little uncomfortable through today's lens.
Yep, totally. I think it was good. Rewatching it again.
Who is the actor? I feel like I've seen him before at the very beginning, who is getting the electroshock.
He looks like
I've seen him
Rick
somewhere.
Moranis' son.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, of course.
A couple of wavy lines, but that face looks like somebody I've seen before. But I couldn't place it, and then I forgot to look it up, and then who cares? But that was actually a pretty funny scene.
Yeah. All right. Eric, anything else to add before we wrap up?
I enjoyed the Harold Ramis has got some very subtle comedic moments that I always find very entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's always in the background of something really small, but when I watch him and he does something, some of those just make me laugh. Like when they're going into the ballroom, when they're talking down the manager before they close the door, just sort of this reassuring smile on his face, like everything's fine, no problem. It's sort of different than what any other, his character throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It's sort of a different sort of vibe, but at the same time I watch him and it makes me laugh. And then
it's Harold Ramis's, it's his best acting performance, I think, ever. Even though it's a small part. I mean, he's the third character, but he doesn't really do that much. But somebody else could have played it robotic or ultra nerdy. He plays it just odd. Yeah. And that's off center, and that's good enough for that. Yeah. That's perfect for that character.
And the other joke that it's not even really a joke per se, but when he said it last night, it kind of made me laugh. Is when they were climbing the stairs to the to Dana's apartment, and they're exhausted after going up 22 flights of stairs, and they finally get to the right floor, and they're all just sort of barely just dragging along, and then they get into the hallway, and he's like, "Oh, Art Deco, very nice."
Yeah,
It's such a weird thing to say, but it makes me like, there's Harold Ramis's work in that movie definitely stands out to me as being very funny.
I liked his signaling when they catch Slimer at the hotel and Bill Murray's walking through the costs and he's like signaling,
yeah,
okay, so for entrapment it's gonna be, and he's like flashing like 4 fingers very subtly, and like the subtle nods as he's encouraging the conversation. Like all of that is really good.
It's like all of his acting takes place in this small little box, but he's fucking
yeah.
All right, Ghostbusters in the books. It's a good one.
It's a good one.